All right. So, welcome to night three of our July finance class. This has been a 3 day series, a financial class. Just great information, just helping us to grow financially. All right. And so, tonight we're going to really focus on the kids. And so, let me just go here and share my screen. And this is a very important topic because our babies are near and dear to us. We want to make sure that we start putting some steps and some tools into place um, for our kids here. All right. So investing in your kids, and I'm a firm believer this here that this is biblical. It says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And so Proverbs is a book in the Bible that's filled with wisdom. And that's what we should be instilling into our kids and also to the financial principles to help them grow financially. So as we covered our agenda here, right? Monday we covered retirement plans. So if you missed this here, you can always go back over to the Let's Win Financial website to client portal. And now both of these two classes are now on the website. We shared this in last night's class where you can go to Let's Win Financial. I'll share that towards the end of tonight's class, how you can go back and review these here. Then, of course, tonight, how to save and invest for your kids and grandchildren. And try to have my web developer have this out and available for tomorrow as well for the replay. All right. So let's get into it. You guys, you see me talking all the time, but some of the ones that's new here, right? These are my three boys. These is my blessings. This is my purpose. This is my why. Uh, and excuse me for the headline here. I should have updated that, but this is saving and investing for kids. But you think about this right here, right? This is a very important. Can you imagine working hard for 18 years and leaving your child nothing? Honestly, man, I mean, we just had kids graduate from high school, and many of the kids walk across that stage where they're getting ready to enter into the world where their parents haven't saved anything for them, and now they're getting ready to go to college, and now they have to have Sally Mae to get loans. Like, it's sad, but it's actual reality. And so that's why it's important for us to have these conversations to say, okay, we have young kids. What can we actually do right now in order to change the trajectory of our kids not having nothing by the time that they graduate from high school? And so, as I have here, why have your child start off where you started? I mean, we struggle oftentimes in life because we didn't have the actual financial literacy to even put different practices in place to start investing and saving towards our kids. And so this is one thing that we want to do. We want to break a generational curse in our family. The kids shouldn't start off where you started. They should be starting off where you left off. And so tonight, we're going to be discussing these type four accounts. This is LeBron James as a little kid, and now he has four NBA championships. So I thought it'd be interesting as we cover these four particular accounts tonight. We're going to go into detail on each one. So first of all, we're going to talk about a savings account in a way that you can save for your children. Next, we're going to go over and we're going to focus on a college account and ways that you can save for college for your kids or for your grandchildren. And then we're going to focus on investment accounts. Believe it or not, kids can actually have investment accounts. And then we're going to focus on retirement accounts. So you may think, man, how can a kid have a retirement account? We're going to focus on that tonight. We're going to show you how you can actually put plans in place. I mean, it could be a 2-year-old kid can have set up a retirement plan. All right. Now, before I go into these four particular accounts, I want to share something here with you. Want to share with you a website here. So if you have kids and they're doing chores, we wrote about this here a little bit and on our Let's Win Financial Facebook page, Busy Kid. So if your kids, this is a great app. You can also here go on the website where if your kids are doing chores, right? Here's an app that you can use to pay your kids. Your kids can actually use this to invest. Your kids can use this to pay towards charities. So you will see this app, if a kid does a chore, You could pay them towards this account. So if they clean the toilets, the kids can go in here and said, I did it. And then they can actually get paid $2.50. And then they can decide, okay, if they're going to either spend this somewhere, or if, for instance, if they want to invest this somewhere. It has different publicly traded companies that kids are very familiar with. This is a great site, great app. We've used it in the past and still do now, but not actively. But I think this is very good. Now that I was doing this presentation tonight, I was like, we need to get back into doing this. Kids can even contribute to like charities, man. So this is a great app that you can use for your kids to help them with money management and to be able to be in control here, right? You got some bonuses, you got parents approvals, you got the history. All of this is good for the kids in itself. Now, this app here to do this here, the pricing on it is $19.99 a month, but it's a family plan as well. So I really like this here. They have some really cool features here for busy kids. So again, if you have kids, this is a great app. You can go to your iPhone, your Android, and this here is available inside those particular plans in itself. All right. Now, I also want to share with you guys, many people do this here. I want to take this background off here really quick and show you something what we do for our kids. And I share with this around Christmas time frame. But I found this here on Etsy. All right. So this is a wooden frame I found on Etsy. It was like $29.99 here. And basically what it has here is has some jars here. It has a giving jar. All right. And then it has a spending jar. All right. So my oldest son has some money in here for his spending. And then he has a saving jar. All right. So what happens is this is very good for kids that's like super young, like to help them make decisions on money. This is something that we struggle with as adults, as far as the different decisions, whether to give, save, or spend. But if we can implement this early into our kids' lives, this is very important. So again, we have the save jar. So whenever I give my sons money for their chores, we come here and say, okay, son, you're going to get $10 a week for your chores. $1 of it, 10% of it is going towards charity, or what we call tithing, because we believe firmly in teaching our kids about tithing. So they're going to say, okay, they're going to get $10 a week, and he's going to decide whether out of that $10, $9 of it, he knows that he has to make a decision, because the dollar is going towards the church. So he has to decide, okay, where am I going to put this at? Am I going to put it in a saving? Am I going to spend it? And you will see out of these 3 jars that I had, his money is in the spending right now. So I gave him $20 2 days ago. I don't know where that's at, but I have to ask him. And that's one way to keep your kids accountable. And the giving was the last one here. But again, I found excuse me, I found this on Etsy. And so we bought this for all of our sons. And so each one have this here, and it helps them to start adopting early in life to make some of these decisions on how they're going to actually use their money. So if you guys want to use that there, I could give you the link to Etsy where I got it from. But I thought that was a very good tool in itself here. All right. So the first account that we're going to focus on tonight is the savings account. Now, we all have savings accounts. Hopefully we do, right? But a kid can actually have a savings account as well. And what we use from a savings account, I'm sorry here, let me share my screen here. I do apologize here. Who we use for my wife and I for a savings account is Ally. All right. So our own personal savings, and then also to our kids' savings accounts we have through Ally. All right. So here they would tell you, okay, you have an online savings, so you can do it for kids. So if you go right here and you look at the online savings, it kind of give you just like regular stuff that we would actually see. You have an app, they have some cool things. You can link your bank account up. to this as well. So let's say, for instance, my main bank is Bank of America, but I link my savings account up to my Bank of America to this Ally account. You can set up recurring transfers, roundups, savings, things of that nature. Here's the reason why we use Ally here. If you go here, and if I type here, let me see here. So I'm looking for here. That's what I'm looking for right here. I'm looking for the rates. All right. So if I use Ally in comparison with Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo, you will see that they have monthly maintenance fees. All right. Ally, you will see there's no monthly maintenance fees. There's no minimum account deposits. I mean, you can open up this account as low as like $5, right? But the biggest thing to this is the APY, what you're earning on this money. You're not earning anything on the savings account anyways. But in any event that there is an emergency, you want to make sure that you have a security blanket in place with an emergency fund. And if you're going to have it in place, okay, let's try to make something. Now, before interest rates dropped last year, Ally was paying like 2%, but with everything dropping with the pandemic, interest rates are down. So you will see here, Ally is giving you 0.50%, whereas Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo, they're giving you 0.01%. You're actually losing money in a savings account when you factor in inflation. So what we're going to do tonight, as we go through these accounts, I have this particular Excel spreadsheet, and we're going to use a 5-year-old kid, and we're going to look at the savings account. So if I go on this tab right here, and this right here is the savings account, all right? And we found out through Ally that they pay 0.50%. So if I was to go right here and I was to put in my 0.50, okay, that's going to, and it's rounding up to 1%, but that's okay. We're going to use an example tonight of $200 a month, right? How much will that actually be for a 5-year-old kid? We're going to use that same $200 a month for the college, the custodial, and the Roth IRA account. All right. So we take $200 a month, or let's say, for instance, $2,400 a year, and we take this here all the way to 18. All right. If we put this money here in a savings account, by the time that this kid graduates high school in a savings account, let me just highlight this here, it will be worth about $34,000 here. All right. So 2,400 at 1%, 34,000. So check this out. Your contributions, this is key here. You would have contributed $200 here every month. Your total contributions would have been $33,600. All right. But look at this here. Your total balance would have been $34,888. You're not making any money on this, but all this is kind of like of a protection. All right. Now, we don't put a lot of money into our kids' savings account because we put it in these accounts right here because we know that they're going to be ones that's working for us. But we have a small little balance there in their savings. All right. So if they want to ever take a trip somewhere, we don't have to go through our accounts. We'll go through theirs. So Ally is who we use. We looked at some of the other major banks and their rates. And so that's one of the reasons why we do not use a Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo savings account. We use Bank of America as our primary for normal operating, but not for our savings because it's not even working for us amongst the different charges and the fees that they have here. So before we go on here to our second account tonight, I want to pause here to see if there's any particular questions in regards to the savings account with Ally. Okay. All right. So the next account that we're going to focus on is the college account. We discussed the savings. Now we're going to go to the college. Now the college account, you have two different type of ways that you can save and invest for your kids when it comes for college. And so when we think about this here, right? Let's go look at the first one here. Now I'm here in Florida. And in Florida, they have something which is the Florida Prepaid program. And the Florida Prepaid program allows you to be able to pay for prices tomorrow, today. And so the Florida Prepaid here, right? They have an option where you can go in and you can put in a child's age. And based on the child's age here, right? We're going to use the same 5-year-old kid. And let's say, for instance, this 5-year-old kid here was born in 2016. So we take 2016 and we'll say we'll just use as of today. All right. So enter a child's birthday, which we have here. Your child is in kindergarten. Your child will graduate 2034. It's going to show the rates for 2034 for the Florida prepaid. So how this works is you have different plans: 2-year, 4-year, 2 and 2. This right here is where you go to like a community college first, and then you go to what we call a Florida State University. You can pick a 1-year plan. You can also pick the 4-year plan as well. This one here is the most popular. But what you want to see here, right? You see these monthly plans here. So you're basically paying a monthly price based on whichever plan that you cover. So here you got a 2-year college plan, affordable way to earn an AA degree, associate's degree. You pay $65 a month, will give you 2 years paid for in a Florida prepaid for future costs paying with today's dollars. You look at a 4-year plan. This is the most convenient, affordable way for a bachelor's degree from a Florida college. So not necessarily from a university, but from a Florida college. Then you got a 2-year, as I mentioned here, community college, and then your remaining 2 years on the university. You got the 1-year university plan and the 4 years. So you will see here, right? This shows you the amount of hours that it covers as well. So you got 60 hours, 30 hours. The most popular one covers 120 hours, which is a full year, full 4 years, or say, for instance, if a kid don't flunk, right? Of college. So this is probably why it's most popular. So for a 5-year-old child, you could pay $222 a month for full tuition. Now, the older that the child gets, the more expensive this will be, of course, because the timing. So that's why it's always good to get in here and to be able to start this early. Now, there's always been some questions on this here, and I want to focus on this because you may open up this plan and you may decide to say, hey, what if this kid decide not to go to college? Or what if I move outside the state? You know, what happens here, right? So this one particular question here, right? Can I cancel my Florida prepaid to withdraw my funds early? So what it does here, it answers the bell here. It tells you, yes, you can. You may cancel your Florida prepaid at any time and for any reason. You may request a refund. All right. You could change your beneficiaries on here. What if I move? It tells you Florida residency is required for the Florida prepaid. It's not required to keep one. So overall, one of the main questions is, what if you start something right with a prepaid? Questions I've always been asked: hey, Sherwin, what if I need this money and I'm in a tight bind? Can I be able to take money out this account? And the answer to that is yes, you can. All right. So this is one way to where you can use to be able to pay for your kids' future college with today's dollars. Now we have the Florida prepaid for one of our sons, actually two of our sons, and then we have what we call, which is the second account, which is the 529 college savings plan. All right. So 529 college savings, let's talk about that for a little bit. Now, this is where you invest into the actual stock market. In the stock market, what this does is you pay into this particular 529 college savings plans. But what happens is the money that you're investing is growing. And this, when you invest this money and it's growing, and when this child becomes 18 and ready for college, all your contributions plus the interest that you earned on this account, you could take out tax-free, as long as it's for a qualified educational expense. Now, another benefit to this is not necessarily Florida residents, but if you're outside the state of Florida and you pay taxes, state taxes, you can also get a contribution to where it lowers your taxable income. So you could be paying, say, $2,500, or let's say, for instance, you're paying $10,000 a year into the 529. Well, each state have a certain limit how much you can actually deduct from for your taxable income. So out of that 10,000, the state may say, okay, look, 2,500 of it, we can lower your taxable income. So a lot of people invest into these 529 plans, knowing the fact that we're not only saving for our children, but it's also giving us a tax deduction as well. So within these here, you normally have what we call age-based portfolios. And these age-based portfolios, let's say for instance, a young kid, his account may be very, very aggressive. All right. So aggressive, I mean, as far as what we talked about a little bit earlier tonight or early in the week, we talked about stocks and bonds. Stocks is what grow your portfolio. Bonds is what kind of serves as a hedge of protection. And so I just want to show this here to you really quick. So as a kid continues to get older, that accounts get very, very conservative. All right. Now I want to show something here to you guys and show you how this actually works. And so I've shared our 529 plan with you guys along this particular journey. And I just want to share this is kind of sort of a little bit more in depth into how this 529 works. All right. So our 529 here is with Vanguard. All right. And so as you will see here, this is my oldest son. So we have two kids that's in the Florida Prepaid, and Avery has the 529 college savings plan. Now you will see that this account balance here is $32,000. Now, the thing about this is what I mean about your contributions and interest earned on the account. Let's focus on this for a second. Now, you will see that we opened this account here in 2013. And so roughly we've had this account open almost about 9 years now. So if you look at the purchases and the withdrawals, we've made about $13,000 towards this account. But if you look at your investment returns, it's $18,768. Now, let's say, for instance, if this was this time right now when Avery's getting ready to go to college, what we would be able to do is just total $32,000 here. We would not pay any taxes on this money here as long as towards a qualified educational expense. What's a qualified educational expense? Books, fees, tuition, room and board, computers. If a kid decides to stay off campus, whatever the financial aid office says that how much it would cost to stay on campus, let's say if it was $5,000, that's how much you could use for off campus. So this is how this 529 college savings plans work. All right. Now there are some consequences to this. Now, if you decide to withdraw some money from here is not for college, you're going to be penalized 10%. And you're going to be taxed on that money. So you want to make sure if you have a 529 college savings plan, you want to make sure that this money here is solely earmarked for the 529 college savings plan. Now you will see here, right? I was talking about the age base. Now Avery, he's in what we call a Vanguard Growth Index portfolio. And this fund here has literally just been kicking butt. Now, if we go back over here and we look at the performance, this one particular fund here, and the reason why it's up 18,000, you will see the investment returns is outworking the purchases. But this one account here, right, it's been doing about 16.5%. It's been kicking butt. Now, because of that, let's go and look at it, see what is it investing in, right? So when I talked about stocks and bonds here, you will see that this portfolio, the higher the risk, the higher reward, is in 100% stocks and no bonds. Bonds is what slow your portfolio down. Now, if he was getting closer to college, we will want to protect this nest egg here and have a little bit more bonds in here. But I know that stocks, he's 9, is going to continue to grow his portfolio. All right. So this is how a 529 college savings plan works, being able to invest money And normally this here, when I say stocks, it's in what we call index funds. So it's a collection of companies inside one basket. So it's not as risky as investing in what we call regular stocks. All right. Now, if you look at this here, I was kind of sharing with my wife a little bit earlier today, right? So in the month of July alone, you will see here the purchases and withdrawals. We've made about $50 towards this month. But look at the market gains on this, guys. $1,218 so far this month. This is a 9-year-old kid. He has really no idea about this. You look here in June, again, the purchases here was $50. I'm not putting a lot of money into this account. You will see the market gain here, $1,753 for the month of June. Now you will go back here, November 2020 was his highest month that they've done it here. So I like this one cool feature about Fidelity. It gives you each month, it gives you the market gains, it gives you, how much you purchase, and then the beginning and ending balance in itself. So this is pretty cool with the 529 college savings plan. Now, before we go on here to our next subject here, I want to go back here to our Excel spreadsheet, and then we're going to use the same example where in a savings account with a 5-year-old, we're going to use the same example here with the 529 college savings plan. So the way this works is you got the 529 college savings plan. All right. And then let's say, for instance, the average annual returns on stocks generally or index funds is about 10%. So we're going to put 10% right here. All right. And then again, just like what we did here in the savings account, we're using a 5-year-old and $200 a month. It's going to be apples to apples. So the ones that just joined, if we did $200 a month up until 18, this account here will be worth $34,000 if you just put it in a savings account, but you would have contributed $33,000. But look at this 529 here, right? When you got a bigger return on interest, you do your $200. We're going to take this right here down to 18. And when we look at this at the age of 18, now let's see how much this is worth. All right. So look at this, guys. This is why investing is important over really saving. So you want to save, but you want your dollars to work harder for you. You take the same example, a 5-year-old, 200. All right. And you're looking at the same contributions of 33,600. Same thing right here, 33,600. Those are your total contributions. But you go right here and this savings account is $34,000. But now, because your return on interest is more, this is $70,000. This is like more than double. So it's important to be able to put our dollars together. And this takes time. So for the ones that just open up accounts less than a year, if you've been seeing red, that's part of the game. But over time, the stock market, and as you will see here with this particular account here, it's been 9 years. And you've seen this investment returns have now exceeded our purchases and withdrawals. So investing is all about time and compound interest, and then the whole patience is with it, right? Just kind of waiting for the market to do what it does best in itself. All right. So before we go on here to the next subject and we talk about the custodial accounts, I want to pause here to see if anyone have any questions on the 529 college savings plan.
Yeah, so Sherwin, I have my hand raised, sorry. What excites me is lowering taxes, right? So I heard you say that, and I was like, I need that in my life. I'm
right. Unfortunately, since you are a Florida residency, right? We can't actually get that benefit. So, but anyone that has paid state taxes, we do have one person that's on here. She has a 529 for her son in the state of Maryland. They allow you to get the state deduction when you actually contribute towards your 529 plan.
Okay. Thank you.
But Akila, that's where what you're doing right about now, lowering your taxable income by you having your business. And that's going to be another night of we discuss. It might be like next week or the week before that. We're just going to have a night where we talk about business deductions, being able to lower your taxable income as a business owner. So that's going to be important for you. All right. And by the way, guys, let me just tell you this here. Man, next Thursday at 7:00 p.m., I just booked in tonight. I got this guy here. He's 36 years old, but he became a millionaire at the age of 31. He's going to be coming to us next Thursday at 7:00. I want you guys to hear his story. Let me repeat that. At 31, he became a millionaire. He's an African-American brother. He looked just like us. But man, oh man, this guy here, man, has did some great stuff. And then he gonna tell his story and how he was able to become a millionaire at the age of 31. So we're excited about that. All right. Okay. Any more questions here on the 529 college savings plan
Hey,
or
Sherman,
Florida prepaid? Go ahead.
I had a question.
Yeah.
I know you're an advocate for as far as Fidelity. I just wanted to know why in particular did you do the 529 for the kids through Vanguard?
Now, what happened is let me just share this here. The Vanguard 529 here, they require you to start out minimum of $3,000. I like Vanguard because their fees are like really, really low. But what happens is you have the minimum to start out with Vanguard is $3,000. So I'm gonna tell you what we did. When we opened up our 529 for Avery, what we did was we went over here and we opened it up with the hour 529 plan. And what happens is with the hour plan, they have the same Vanguard funds that you can invest in, right? But what happens here is you can start out as low as $25 versus the $3,000. So what we did was when this account balance here got to $3,000, then we rolled this our 529 plan over to the Vanguard, because this Vanguard here is like one of the top 529 college plans, in the country. Fidelity has some good ones as well, but Fidelity does not charge as you don't have to have $3,000 to start a 529 with Fidelity. So we were already with Vanguard for a while now, so we just kept it, and you will see that this one fund has been kicking butt. So if it ain't broke, we ain't gonna change it. And so this is pretty much how we started out, or now how for versus Fidelity with the Vanguard. All right. We have any more questions on the college accounts when it comes to the prepaid or 529 plans? And let me say this as well. So this is being recorded, so others will be seeing this as well, and this will be posted on the website. But one cool thing about a 529 plan, it don't necessarily have to be for your kids. It could be for yourself. It could be for, let's say, for instance, there may be a new mother that is getting ready to have a kid here in 9 months. You can open up a 529 college savings plan, and you can be the account owner. You could be the beneficiary. But what happens is the fact that you can roll this over. So if say a mother is 1 month old, if she's 1 month pregnant, if she want to open up a 529 plan, she can start getting these investment gains as early, before the baby is even born. So you get a kickstart with that. And so that's one pretty cool thing about a 529 plan. It don't necessarily have to be for your child. It could be for you, or if you want to start early, you might be a parent that don't even have kids yet. You can still open up a 529 plan with the anticipation that you're going to have kids in the future. And now you've already started this college like legacy for your kids. Now, another thing too, what this 529 does, I want to share this here with you. And this is a new law here in 2017. Excuse me. You can now use 529s for private school tuition. So K through 12, if you're in like a private school, you could pay up to $10,000 per year in a 529 plan, and you can use this for private high school tuition. So this came out in 2017 when Trump changed the tax laws. So that makes sense, right? For the wealthy, right? If you got these plans, 529, your kids going to private school, you can use that money for that. All right. All right. So we're gonna go on here to our next subject, and that is probably this one here is probably one of my favorite accounts for kids. And because what it does is it allows for parents just to create some straight generational wealth building, or for grandparents to create some generational wealth building for their kids or grandkids. And this is what we call our investment accounts, or say for instance for our kids, this will be what we call the custodial account. So we're going to go back over here to my near and dear Fidelity. This is the best investment brokerage firm in the world. All right. So we're going to go right here, and we're going to focus on the brokerage. No, not the brokerage. We're going to focus on the custodial accounts. All right. So custodial, then we go right here to saving and investing for children. And we're going to focus on this right here, this custodial account. This is a general investment account that you will have for kids. So this right here tells you it's a plan for a child's future by saving and investing on their behalf. All right. Now here's how this works. This is a minor's asset. So we're going to take that same 5-year-old child in our different scenarios that we've been looking at. Once you open up this account, this is irrevocable. Like, you can't just put money in this account and be like, okay, you want to take the money out because you need to be doing it for something else. No, now that you got the money in, this is this child's account, and now this money is going to be growing. Now what's going to happen is once you get to the age of maturity at 18, the child does, now it's going to officially become their account, and you're not going to be the custodian over this account any longer. The child will be an adult, and now they will take ownership of this account. Now, like I was telling you, this is a way to directly transfer wealth. Now, this is an opportunity to also to help your kids to understand how they don't necessarily have to work for a dollar, how they can invest in some of the most popular companies that they're familiar with, like an Apple. You can look at Roblox. Kids are playing this video games, Roblox. I mean, you can invest into the company. So these kids can go and say, okay, well, I put $10 in here, Dad, but now my $10 is worth $15 or $20. Now they get an understanding of early in life, wow, this money is growing. Then kids will understand that investing early will benefit them in the long run, because of course, the more money that you have invested, the higher the returns can be. All right. So what this does is, I mean, it just, with Fidelity, many of you guys, I think most of you guys on here, you have Fidelity platforms. You can invest in any company with Fidelity, any index fund with Fidelity, and be able to for your kids. So how does this work, right? We're going to take this custodial account. All right. And where this works is we're going to use the same scenario. Excuse me, guys. Let me just drink a sip here. We're going to take the same scenario. This 5-year-old child doing $200 a month. By the time that this child here graduates high school, you're going to have the same $33,600 you contribute. It's going to be the same amount that you saw here in the college plan. But here's the difference between the college plan and the custodial account. This 529 college savings plan, this $73,000, you got to use all of this for college, like for a qualified educational expense. Whereas this custodial account, this does not necessarily have to be used for college. This could be used for anything: buying a car, buying a house, a trip, continue to invest. I mean, literally, you could do whatever you want with this. The only difference is with the 529, the benefit to this is this is being withdrawn out, your contributions and your earnings tax-free. Whereas the custodial account, any money that you take out outside of your contributions, you will have to pay taxes on it. Not you, but the kid. Remember, in the custodial account, this now is the kid's asset. So the kid would pay taxes on the money that's withdrawn from it. Now think about it. A kid ain't at 18, 19, and 20 ain't making a lot of money. They ain't gonna be in the lowest tax bracket. And what's gonna happen is if they get a job, and I kind of talked about this in some previous classes, but we're gonna discuss this too in some future classes, the standard deduction. Anybody that's single gets a standard deduction of $12,550 per year. If you married, you get double that, which is $25,100. So by the time that this child here filed their taxes and get the regular standard deduction, it's gonna all wash out as far as them not even really paying any taxes between 18, 19, and 21, 22, if their income is still low and they're going to college. So they can still be withdrawing this money out and really not paying any taxes once you factor in the standard deduction. That's for a different day when it comes to taxes. I'm gonna break that down a little bit more. But this is the difference between the 529 and custodial. One where you can freely use it, and the 529, which is just solely for college. All right. Now, before we go on here to our next account, the Roth IRA, I want to pause here and see if there's any questions on the custodial. All right. So we're going to move on over here to our, oh, go ahead.
So I know probably each platform is different, but just like with the 529, is there any starting cost that's necessary?
No, not even. That's a very great question. With this custodial account, man, if you want to put $5 in there, if you want to put $1,000 in there, 10,000, 20,000, you want to put $1 in it, there's really no startup costs. And that's why I tell people often now, man, they have this misconception that you got to have a lot of money to invest. No, you don't have a lot of money. You just need to start. And when you start, that's when the money really start flowing.
And then when the child turns 18, or in that age bracket, are you still able to add to that account?
Yeah, you are. So, but not necessarily you, the child in this particular case. So let's say, for instance, right, your bank account is still tied to the account. So technically you can, but the child will become an adult and have control over the account. So let's say, for instance, this child turns 18 and you're still contributing $200, but then this is a con against this account. Once they become 18, it becomes theirs. So if this child decides they want to go to Vegas, or if they want to go to, I don't know, Australia, right? They could do that. But this is where that financial literacy comes into play. When we teach our kids how to manage over their finances and steward over it, then they're going to know to properly handle their finances and not necessarily squander it. So, yeah. That's kind of sort of how that works. Not sort of, that's how that works.
Got you.
All right. Good questions. All right. Any more questions on the custodial account? That's just a general investment account, no minimum, no maximum. Invest in whatever company you want for whatever dollar amount you want. Very easy and simple to use through Fidelity platform. Now, let me just share this also too with you really quick. Fidelity just came out with a new feature for your kids as well. Let me go back over here. Now, this is for more so like for teenagers. They just opened this Fidelity youth account right here. And so basically, the kids, they get like a debit card, but this excuse me, this account right here is for teens 13 to 17. So it's basically teaching them how to, spend, save, and invest. But they have total like control. So they have this debit card and they have money on this debit card. And so they can have this investments, but then they can transfer it over to their regular money market account and buy different things, or let's say, for instance, a parent put money on this debit card, a child can decide to say, hey, look, I want to invest this. But you would see here, right? There's no subscription fees, no account fees, no minimum balances, no domestic ATM fees. So this is pretty good here. So this is pretty much how it works. You open an account, you download the app, you fund it. And then basically, man, you could just start, like, literally the kids have more control over this versus the custodial account where the parents still have control over it. But now that you would see that the age gap right here from 13 to 17, the kids get control of this to be able to manage whatever they want to invest in. Now, I would tell you, this will have to be very responsible kids to be able to open up something like this right here. If they ain't responsible, continue with the custodial account. All right. So here's the last account I want to talk about here really quick. And this is the actual retirement account for a kid, which is crazy, man. You think about this, right? A kid having a retirement account, man, this is phenomenal right here. So let's talk about this. In order for a kid to have a retirement account, let's talk about this here. We're gonna go right here. A kid can open up what we call a Roth IRA for kids accounts. All right. We see here Roth IRA for kids. It's a minor. A minor owns this account while an adult manages it, as long as the minor has qualified earned income. Now that is key. We're gonna harp on this here. He has to have qualified earned income. So on the line tonight, we do have some grandparents. So if a grandparent, this account can be opened and managed by any adult, parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, family friend on behalf of a minor. All right. Now, just like with our regular Roth IRA accounts, it grows tax-free. This account does. The withdrawals are tax-free. So you can literally take out money in this account for any time, reason, as long as it's your contributions. All right. The minor must be under the age of 18. But here is the key to this account. The minor must have employment compensation. If a child does not bring in any money, they can't have this account. So it has to be earned income. Now, what is earned income? As far as qualifying income for a child, it tells us right here, qualifying income come from a job or self-employment, such as babysitting, mowing lawns, shoveling snow, modeling, you name it, man. So here's how this works with our kids, right? Our boys. So we have 3 boys. So 2 out of the 3 boys have these Roth IRA accounts. But as you guys know, we have 2 businesses. We have this business here, Let's Win Financial, and then we have the Let's Win Real Estate, the real estate business. These guys have titles, and they handle all the administration on the Let's Win, not all, but they're administrators, right? So we get some checks in the mail. We'll give them our phones. They will take a picture with the checks. They will put it in the accounts. My oldest son, Avery, we kind of do like an accounting each month by my wife being a CPA and create these Excel spreadsheets. So he gets smart with that. So he does the adding and subtracting at the end of the month. So they're administrators. So what happens is the way this is structured, we pay them a reasonable amount. So that's what the IRS says, that when a child, if you're employed by a parent that has a business, you have to pay them a reasonable amount of money. So Avery, our oldest son, or both of the boys, get $125 from Let's Win Financial per month, and they get $125 from Let's Win Real Estate. All right. Now, notice this here, right? On these particular accounts that we talked about, the savings account, the 529 college savings plan, the custodial, these 3 accounts right here comes from your own personal expenses. All right. Now, the Roth IRA account comes from a child working for a business or for his parents. But when this money is when you're working for your parents, this is other people's money. Right. So I have this Let's Win Financial. Everybody that's on this call here, you guys are subscribers into Let's Win Financial, right? So we get revenue from that. So we use a portion of that to invest into the kids. Likewise with the real estate, by the tenants paying us rent each month, we take a portion of that and we put it towards their Roth IRA account. So this right here, I call the OPM account, right? Other people money. So this is important when we go back here and we look at this, that you can open up a Roth IRA account for your child. If they work at Publix, if they work at Walmart, Winn-Dixie, anywhere, they have to have the earned income, or if they're doing any type of qualifying income, you can open up this Roth IRA account. All right. And again, with this particular account here, the maximum, just like with ours for the Roth IRA, the maximum that you could put in here for 2021 and 2020, this is 2020 is past, but for 2021 is $6,000 here. All right. So this is pretty good. And the thing about this is when we go back to this Excel spreadsheet, we use the same example here. If we put in $200 a month at 18, same amount that we total contribution at $33,000, it would have been 73 here. But here's the difference here with the Roth IRA account. So let me go here. I'm sorry, I didn't have it on the Roth IRA tab. So let me make sure I take this down to 18. All right, so I'm gonna highlight this here. Then we're gonna go right here. It's the same $73,000 here. But let's say, for instance, right, this child here, you started at 5. And then they still continue to contribute towards this account. But I want to show you something really quick. Let's say, for instance, right, option A, where we don't contribute any more money into this account. The one thing with the Roth IRA that versus these other accounts here, well, a Roth IRA account, once you get to age 59 and a half, all your contributions, which is right here, $33,000 plus the interest that you earn in a Roth IRA account at the age of 59 and a half, you now can take all this money out and you pay no taxes. Now, I'm not sure how far this particular Excel spreadsheet goes down, but let me look at the age here. I think it does. Yeah. So check this out. So you get right here at 59 and a half, right? Here's the crazy part about this, man, with compound interest. Guys, if y'all don't learn nothing else tonight, this right here, you need to just need to be a marker. This kid here at 5, you put a total of $33,600 in this account. And if this kid here don't touch this, and more likely will, but this is just compound interest, right? Your total $33,000 that you contributed now is worth $3.6 million. And the good thing about this, guess what? Ain't got to pay not the first red cent in tax. Now on this call tonight, we got some people that's over the age of 59 and ain't nowhere close to this right here. But this is why I'm telling you guys earlier tonight, these principles, what we learning, if we could start sowing seeds into our kids and let time and compound interest, which is money's two best friends, time and compound interest, continue to do what it does and let it grow. You don't have to have a lot of money, but just start. Put $5 in here, $10 in here, whatever it takes in order to set your kid apart. All right. Now I want to pause here to see if we have any more questions here on the Roth IRA for kids. All right. Now check this out. I want to share something with you guys really quick. And I did this previously, but I want to show something because people may think that I'm a little bit crazy or overdo it with finances, right? But what we did was we talked about 4 different accounts tonight. But I want to show you guys how this is working in our particular household when it comes to these accounts and how we're actually implementing all of these accounts with, in particular, our oldest son. All right. So you notice here, this is Avery's investment portfolio. And he has a Roth IRA account. He has a custodial account. And he has a 529 college savings account. I don't have his savings account, but he got roughly about $1,000 in that savings account. What I want you guys to look at is when we looked at his college 529 plan, we saw that this account here, let me log back up in here. We saw that this account balance was $32,408, right? So let's talk about this really quick. If I put in this 32,408, that's just starting. That's where it's at currently. All right. Now I'm only putting $50 a month into this. We got about 5 more months, right? So let's say, for instance, I put my 250 here. And if you notice on this account, when I went back here, and we looked at the contributions that's going in here, you will see that I'm only putting $50 a month in this account. All right. So if you look at $50 a month, that's $600. But think about this. He's 9. He'll be 9 next month. By the time he turns 18, and notice this is on a 12% annualized return. But check this out, guys. His account, look what it's doing. It's up 16.5%, but I'm just being conservative by putting 12%. Now, if you go right back here and I'm just putting in 12%, when he graduates in high school in this 529 account, it's going to be $111,000. That's where it's expected to be growing at right about now. But if I was to put in what it's currently doing and say 16%, these numbers will really get crazy, but I just be conservative in the event there could be some market turns, right? On the average. So I'll use my 12% trajectory here, right? So just kind of keep this in mind. So you take your $111,000 here on the college account. Then I go right here to this custodial account, and this custodial account currently right about now, to share this with you guys, but he has roughly about $5,000 in this custodial account. Now, all this is, again, it's just a regular kids investment account. We put $200 a month into the, I'm sorry, we put $320 a month into this account, or a total of $3,840 for the year. Now, when he turns 18, this account balance here is projected to be closely to about $75,000, because we're expecting about a 10% annualized return. So this is just a regular investment account. All right. Now, again, if you notice this here, I put age 22 here. I got this highlighted because let's say, for instance, he go to school 4 years in college. Now this account here is worth $110,000. All right. But then you look at the Roth IRA account, his Roth IRA account, he got about $500 in here. We just started putting money into this account. So this is a fairly new account. But remember, the Roth IRA account is the account that's coming from OPM, other people money, through Let's Win Financial revenue and Let's Win Financial real estate. $300 a month. I'm sorry, $250 a month. If you think about $250 a month, that's $3,000 a year. By the time that he graduates high school, this at 18 right here, we would have contributed a total of $28,000, and this account here will be growing at or averaging about $50,000. Now think about this here. On this Roth IRA account, I was telling you guys, right? The limit, the IRS limit is 59 and a half. So when he get 59 and a half, you take the same $28,500 of what we contribute. If he didn't touch this account here would be worth almost about $2.5 million. This is key. All right. Because he has this custodial account, he really don't even have to touch this Roth IRA account, but he could use this for more real estate or things of that nature, right? This is the flexibility. But here's what I want to share with you guys here really quick. If I go back over here, we're just going to focus on him graduating high school, right? You got account balance here of 111,000. You got another 75,000, say that's, for instance, 185, right? And then you take this right here, and that's another, say, $230,000. So that's what he is projected right about now to have, about $230,000 by the time that he graduates high school. Now, my wife think I'm a little over the top, but guess what? I don't care, because I know people that don't look like us. This is what they're doing for their kids, and they're inheriting assets. So you will see on social media, I don't want my kids to inherit problems or Jordans and all this Louis Vuitton crap. This is what I believe in, is my kids inheriting assets. And this is the main reason why I am teaching you guys these particular principles, because all I'm doing is teaching you basically what I'm doing. And I want you to do the same thing. That's why I'm showing you these numbers tonight. So if you change your mind shift, instead of spending and being an investor, you can still spend, but you don't have to spend, say, $300 a month on shopping, maybe spend $200 a month on shopping, but $100 a month on investing, right? Because we see a small amount what it can grow into over time. All right, so we're this is the end, guys. We're at the point where we're answering questions over tonight, and then again, everyone that's on tonight will have a chance to win the $50 Amazon gift card. We've been doing that for our 3 classes, giving away $50 a night because we want to thank you guys for supporting Let's Win Financial. I really don't like to charge, but I only do it because they take away time from my family, and that just kind of helps when the wife say, "Okay, look, well, you got to go and you on this call. If you use some money to invest into our kids and take trips, that helps." But I'm at a point now where let's address your questions on anything we discussed tonight.
Well, I just wanted to say before anybody jump in there, thank you for your services. I don't mind paying my fees, and I love the fact that you give the service you provide. So thank you.
My pleasure, man. My main thing though, Rhonda, is man, if we could use this here, man, and sow it, that man, we could just be so further along, man. I posted something on my Instagram the other day about the wealth gap on the net worth of a white family compared to a black family, man. It's a white family 117,000 versus a black family at 17,000, man. It's a stark difference. So that's what we're all about. All right. Let's answer some more questions here. I'm putting everybody's name here in my random picker here. So let's if you got questions here, let's address them.
Sharon, can any of these accounts be put into a trust where they can't touch it at 18? Where they can, because that's my concern at 18. I understand with the education, but then you still have those pig-headed kids who, like you said, want to go to Vegas with the money. Is there any kind of way that you could put it in the trust to where, or what would you suggest to put in the trust to where they could not have access until they were 21 or 27, or because that's what I see a lot of rich people do. Like they kids get money when they're 27, when they're 32, like they have it spread out so they can be responsible.
Hey, you know what, Kenyatta, I'm so glad you mentioned that because I was going to say that, right? I was supposed to be talking about that tonight. The trust is the best option that you want to do when you're starting building assets for your kids, especially when you're starting to build up the accounts at a good amount of a number. Now, what's going to happen is with that particular trust, you're going to be able to write in that trust. Let's say, for instance, use my example. If Avery has about $230,000, let's say, for instance, he won't be able to touch, say, 5% of it, until 18. And then maybe when he graduate college, you could set it, say, okay, you'll have access to another 20% of it. Or you can write your trust however you want to structure that trust. Now, we have a estate planning attorney, Giovanni Borges, normally comes to us every November because November is estate planning. And so he's right here in Cooper City, right down the road from me. And he does the trust. And so we're actually in the final stages of building our particular trust for our household families. For us writing it down, he gave us the instructions. But I recommend, though, man, if you're building like investments like this here, like we discussed tonight, and it has a sizable amount, the trust is the way to go. Because, like you say, Kiana, man, a kid gonna be a kid. We all learned our lessons the hard way by straight spending. So we want to be cautious of that. But that's very, very good. All right. Any more questions? All right. Let me see here. So I am putting everybody's name into this random picker. Now let me see here. Let me go and share my screen. Now I do see someone and that's on the iPhone, and I don't know who that is. I do have you, Sean, on here. let me see here. Let me see. Okay, let's see. So let me start here. And if I don't have your name, if you don't see your name, let me know. Oh, you know who I don't have? Oh, yeah, I do have Dr. Augusta Francis on here. Somebody's missing. So I don't want you to not get the credit. If you don't see your name on here, let me know. If not, we're gonna go ahead and do this here. Okay. All right. Oh, I think I know who that is. I know who that is. I know who that is. He don't need it. He's okay. It's my dad. All right. All right, guys. So here's the names here. So we're gonna go full-fledged here and do our random picker here. All right. So we're gonna go here, pick the names. All right, let's see who our winner for tonight is. Oh, awesome. Kenyatta is the winner of our $50 Amazon gift card.
Oh, yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Use it for my trip.
There you go. There you go. Kenyatta, you want to tell them where you're about to travel to?
Sure. So I have what's called crazy faith. And I am going to Costa Rica for the next 3 months. And I'm starting my international journey. I plan to live out of this country and not come back, and be prosperous, and have real estate and investments and all that good stuff whilst I'm in other countries. So I'm selling my car in 7 days. I already got the offer. So I'll be driving it to the lot and dropping it off. And I'm going to be going to Costa Rica for the next 3 months, living my best life.
Man, that story there, man, is awesome. I was speaking with Kenyatta the other day, and I was like, man, you're starting to see different things than what we currently seeing now. I always think exposure leads to expansion. So being able to be outside of our normal world and man, just being able to explore the world. So Kenyatta, I'm excited for you, man. And so God has his hands over you. So matter of fact, I just had someone here in the community just text me to say, hey, put me in touch with Kenyatta. So Kenyatta will probably be doing some networking.
Okay.
Networking here. All right. So guys,
All
this
right.
has
Awesome.
been good. Thank you for that. So this has been a great 3-day financial class. Tonight concludes that. Like I say again, next Thursday, we're going to have a young man that's 36. He became a millionaire at the age of 31. That's going to be our next webinar. Thank you guys for joining in to these particular classes, and we're going to be doing it every month. I really want to teach you guys about the taxes, because when you file your taxes, it's either you get a standard deduction or you can itemize. And I really want to break that down for you guys to help you understand it, because our taxes is important. And so after our webinar next week with a gentleman that's a millionaire now, I think the following week we'll do a training on taxes with the standard deduction and the itemizing, because that helps you. You understand, as far as the less taxes you pay, that's the less that you owe Uncle Sam. And that's how Donald Trump and his boys, that's how they're able to live and protect their wealth. I want to teach you guys the same way. All right. And then Akila will talk about lowering those ways that you can lower your tax income through those tax deductions. All right. So that will be part of that particular session as well. So, all right, guys, it's 8:12 and I'm excited. And so this is the conclusion. So we're going to end tonight. But as always, be well, be blessed. And as always, guys, let's continue to win. You guys have a great remainder of the week. All righty.